Okay, we are live. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening and welcome back to the Law Entrance YouTube channel and to another session of the Hindu analysis. Today is 1st of December. We are beginning a brand new month. Okay, can we have some responses if people are on the stream? Let's see if anyone has joined. Manju is here. Good evening. Let's wait for a couple of minutes for more people to join in. Then we'll start. People who are watching the stream, live on the stream, can we have some responses in the chat box? I know the exam is getting closer. Most of the students might be revising, which is okay. Do we have any 2027 aspirants here? Okay. Manju is here, Kavita is here. Good evening, guys. Okay. So let's start today's discussion. Jaldi se. AIR, how is 60 for third mock? If you are referring to your rank, then that's pretty good. If you are referring to score, that's also decent. Okay, Manju's for 2027. Welcome to the class, guys. So, in this class, we do the analysis of the Hindu newspaper every day. And we do the most important topics, editorials, and we also do some vocabulary in the class. So, on today's agenda, we have three important topics. One is Cyclone Ditwa. Then next is the Great Nicobar project. Then one editorial article on research pipelines. These are the three articles which we'll do in a little more detail and three new vocabulary words of the day. Apart from this, we'll also do 4 or 5 articles on the newspaper itself. And that's today's plan. Good evening, Manya. All right, chalo, let's start, guys. Let's go to the newspaper and begin our discussion for the day. Let me open the newspaper for you all. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. I hope the newspaper is now visible to everyone. This is the Hindu newspaper, 1st of December. We're starting a new month. SIR form deadline extended to December 11 amid BLO distress. What does this mean? SIR stands for Special Intensive Revision, the exercise which is happening to revise the voter list in a few states, right? And what is BLO distress? BLO is booth level officers, basically people who are in charge with conducting the SIR exercises, updating the voter list. They are facing a lot of distress because of the tight deadline. Earlier, the deadline was 4th of December. It started on 4th of November, and they had a 1 month deadline, which was 4th of December. Now the deadline has been extended by 1 week and is now 11th of December. That is what this article tells us. This SIR currently is going on in 9 states and 3 union territories. And the draft voter list, which they would publish, that would be published on 16th of December. So that has also been pushed by 1 week. And the final voter roll will come out on 14th of February. And because these BLOs were facing a lot of stress and a couple of them also committed suicide, the government has now extended the deadline for this. And it's almost 99% completed, but yeah, some formalities are still left. All right, moving ahead, let's see what else do we have on the newspaper. On the right hand side, you see need to transform public perception of police, says our Prime Minister, addressing the country. Now, we all know that the public perception of police is not that great. He was addressing police officers in a All India DGP conference, which was happening in Raipur, and the theme was Viksit Bharat Security Dimensions. And he said that we need to, work on a few things. Some of them being our monitoring and security systems, our police key image, how the public perceives the police, which needs a lot of work in terms of professionalism, sensitivity, responsiveness, etc., etc. Then better preparedness for disasters, natural disasters like cyclones, floods, emergencies. अभी जैसे हम बात करेंगे आज साइक्लोन डितवा की, which is primarily affecting Sri Lanka. Then they also talked about how we need to tackle the issue of drug abuse, where enforcement needs to be stronger, rehabilitation has to be done, and community level engagement has to be done by the police. Then tourist policing, making things more safer for tourists coming to our country. Public awareness related to new laws. Which are the new laws? BNS, BNSS, and BSA. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. And these three laws replaced which earlier laws? ये आप लोग मुझे chat box में बताओ. Okay, we have some comments in the chat. Riva is here. Sorry for the rant. Fell sick. At this point, I'm feeling disheartened. Did only three topics since morning. सबकी तैयारी अच्छी चल रही है. सब अरे यार इतना परेशान मत हो यार रिवा. इतनी कोई टेंशन वाली बात नहीं है. It's okay. Take it lightly and just try to get in a good mood. Try to listen to some good music. Watch your comfort TV show or movie, whatever you want, and get back in the zone and आराम आराम से करो. कोई ऐसा स्प्रिंट रेस नहीं है कि आज ही सारा रिविजन खत्म करना है. यू स्टिल हैव 6 more days left, so don't worry about it. Relax, get well soon, and you'll do it. I know you'll do it. Don't worry about it. तबीयत का ध्यान रखो, दैट्स मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. रिविजन थोड़ा सा स्लो हो जाएगा, दैट्स नॉट एन इशू एट ऑल. ठीक है. बाकी कोई ज़्यादा इशू हो तो यू कैन टेक्स्ट मी या ईमेल मी, वी कैन टॉक. ठीक है, चलो. IPC, Indian Evidence Act, and CRPC. Absolutely correct answers, Kavita and Manya. Perfectly right answers. So yeah, these were the acts which were replaced. मैं क्या बता रहा था आप लोगों को? हाँ, मैं यही बता रहा था कि क्या क्या चीज़ें डिस्कस हुई इस पर्टिकुलर मीटिंग में. चलो आगे चलते हैं हम लोग. लेट्स सी व्हाट एल्स डू वी हैव. साइक्लोन डितवा वीकेंड्स 3 die in rain related incidents. So this cyclone basically formed over the Bay of Bengal parallel to the coast of northern Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Sri Lanka maybe also it affected a lot of places, northern Sri Lanka. And we'll talk about this in a little more detail on the PPT. वापस आएंगे हम इस पे. Boy gate crashing wedding for food killed, CISF constable held. क्या बात है. शादी में खाना खाने गया, उसको मार ही दिया बेचारे को. That's sad. Netanyahu submits request for pardon from graft charges to Israeli president. Now, what does this mean? Let's simplify this. We all know Israel के Prime Minister का नाम है Benjamin Netanyahu, and he has asked the President of Israel, whose name is Isaac Herzog, to give him a pardon from the ongoing corruption charges. Basically, Netanyahu पे काफी सारे corruption के allegations charges लगे हुए हैं. और उन्होंने जो वहाँ के प्रेसिडेंट है उनको बोला कि ये चार्जेस मेरे हटा दिए जाएं, मेरे को माफ कर दिया जाए, पार्डन दे दिया जाए. प्रेसिडेंट के पास पार्डन होती है, इंडिया के प्रेसिडेंट के पास भी पार्डन होती है, पार्डनिंग की पावर होती है क्राइम्स से रिलेटेड. आई थिंक आर्टिकल 72 में लिखा है, नॉट श्योर. 70s में कोई आर्टिकल आपको चेक करना पड़ेगा. द पावर ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट टू ग्रांट पार्डन. आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल द एग्जैक्ट आर्टिकल, बट आई एम श्योर इट्स इन 70s. Anyway, the point is that he wants to end a very long running and deeply affecting trial which is causing a lot of political tension in Israel. And why is this controversial? This is controversial because Netanyahu wants to unite the country. Already Israel Gaza wala issue chal raha hai, hum sabko pata hi hai. And he's saying that उनके जो opponents हैं वो इस चीज को misuse कर रहे हैं, and they are trying to weaken Israel's democracy, democratic institutions. And he says that if you do this, this would send a message that Netanyahu is working to unite the nation. बट उनके ओपोनेंट्स जो कह रहे हैं अगर ऐसा कर दिया तो इसका मतलब ये मैसेज चला जाएगा दैट द प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज अबव द रूल ऑफ लॉ. वो करप्शन करे तो वो माफ कर दिया जाएगा, विच इज नॉट फेयर. तो वही दोनों साइड्स अपना पक्ष रख रहे हैं. अब जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स ऑफिस है उन्होंने कंफर्म किया ये जो पार्डन रिक्वेस्ट है इन्होंने सबमिट करी है प्रेसिडेंट को, एंड प्रेसिडेंट के ऑफिस ने बोला है कि दिस इज एन एक्स्ट्रॉर्डनरी रिक्वेस्ट विच वुड हैव सीरियस इम्प्लीकेशंस। तो अभी ग्रांट नहीं किया गया है इनको पार्डन। देखते हैं अभी क्या होता है। अभी इन पे एलिगेशन ही हैं, ब्रीच ऑफ ट्रस्ट के, ब्राइब्स एक्सेप्ट करने के, फ्रॉड के, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा। सो विल गेट टू नो इन अ फ्यू डेज व्हाट हैपेंस इन दिस केस। आगे चलते हैं हम लोग। लेट्स सी व्हाट एल्स डू वी हैव। सिटी बेस्ड न्यूज़ यू गाइस कैन स्किप। नॉट इंडल्ज इन फैक्शनल पॉलिटिक्स। फैक्शनल का मतलब होता है डिवाइसिव, अलग अलग गुटों में बांट देना, फैक्शंस में डिवाइड कर देना। दैट्स व्हाट ही सेज। कर्नाटका डिप्टी सीएम डीके शिव कुमार। More than 300 Indians evacuated from Sri Lanka arrive at Kerala capital Thiruvananthapuram. This is again the cyclone which we'll talk about. Population in Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep is set to rise, says a report. All right. CLAT 2025 का एग्जाम हो गया संडे को कंप्लीट। ओके, बीजेपी टारगेट्स बंगाल गवर्नमेंट। दिस इज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट, कैन स्किप दिस। Maharashtra woman marries cops after kin kill man she loved over caste differences। बाप रे, प्यार हो तो ऐसा हो। उसने अपने बॉयफ्रेंड की लाश से शादी कर ली। बताओ क्या बात है। सलाम है ऐसे प्यार को। Hindu families put up their homes for sale after Muslim man buys house in UP locality। अरे बाप रे, क्या क्या होता रहता है यूपी में, क्रेजी। A.R. Rahman to inaugurate Music Academy's annual festival. This is not important. Displaced people stage protest near Raj Bhavan in Manipur. So मणिपुर में एक फेस्टिवल कराया गया, संगाई फेस्टिवल, और उसके लिए इन लोगों को डिस्प्लेस कर दिया गया अपने घरों से, एंड उसी के लिए दे आर प्रोटेस्टिंग। ठीक है, what else do we got? Let's move ahead. Okay, we're down to the editorial section now. Institutionalizing animal representation. This is an article by Menka Gandhi, very well known climate activist, environmental activist, animal rights activist. Let's see what is she talking about. Okay. She talks about the human animal divide. She says that the modern democracy is built on human animal divide, where animals are treated as non political, non rational, and therefore unrepresented. नॉन पॉलिटिकल का मतलब होता है कि एनिमल्स वोट तो नहीं डाल सकते, है ना। एंड नॉन रैशनल का मतलब है हम सोचते हैं कि एनिमल्स रैशनली भी नहीं सोच सकते, वो इंस्टिंक्टिवली एक्ट करते हैं। भूख लगी है तो शेर जो है हिरन को मार के खाएगा। शेर रैशनली तो नहीं सोचेगा कि जानवर को मारना गलत बात होती है। सो दे आर नॉन रैशनल एंड दे आर नॉन पॉलिटिकल, एंड इस वजह से उनका कोई रिप्रेजेंटेशन भी नहीं है, उनकी कोई वॉइस भी नहीं है। जिस वजह से शी सेज दैट this allows for a exploitation of animals, institutionalized exploitation of animals. Now she argues that animals are in a way political beings. They are not one uniform group and they are very diverse with different needs. And the problem is not really in terms of lack of compassion, but rather a structural flaw in how we treat animals as property and without any representation. Now, what does she mean by representation? She says that representation is not about giving animals human rights like voting. It is about creating formal systems जहाँ पे their vulnerability and dependency in some ways, कौन हॉर्न बजा रहा है इतना बाहर? So yeah, some ways in which their vulnerability and dependency influence political decisions, मतलब कुछ ना कुछ political impact हो उसका, and humans should be responsible towards taking care of their interest whenever they use land, whenever they develop their food systems, environment, security decisions, etc., etc. She argues that this representation should be based on sentience and physical experience. Sentience का मतलब होता है anything which can experience life, and it should not be based on human like abilities like reasoning कि animals reasoning कर सकते हैं कि नहीं. She says that animals should not have the need to prove that they are like humans to deserve protection, because that is discriminatory. And she says that we need new institutions, because current institutions cannot represent the animals because they do not vote, they cannot lobby together, they have no economic power. All in all, अगर एक वर्ड में आपको मैं बताऊं तो शी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट बेटर ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ एनिमल्स, more representation of animal rights by people, and taking care of how animals are not exploited the way they are currently. That is what she's trying to say in a essence. Manya says it's article 72, check from Google, but I will remember it. मैंने भी 72 ही गेस किया था, चलो अच्छी बात है, गुड गेस. ऑलराइट, ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं हम लोग. लेट्स मूव अहेड. Tough choices, Congress troubles in Karnataka are symptomatic of deeper malaise. This is not important. आप skip कर सकते हो. 2030 for 2036, India is trying to showcase Ahmedabad sports infrastructure in Olympics bid. This is basically regarding the Commonwealth Games जो अब इंडिया में होंगे 2030 के Commonwealth Games. That's also the 100th anniversary of Commonwealth Games. 1930 में start हुए थे. So 2030 में जो होंगे वो 100वां एक तरीके से 100 years ऑफ कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स हो जाएगा. एंड लास्ट टाइम इंडिया में जो कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स हुए थे वो हुए थे 2010 में. घोटाला वगैरह भी हुआ था उस टाइम पे, कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स स्कैम हुआ था. तो वही यहाँ पे बताया जा रहा है कि इंडिया इज ट्राइंग टू शोकेस दैट अहमदाबाद इज रेडी फॉर कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स ताकि दे कैन ऑल्सो बिड फॉर ओलंपिक्स. तो ओलंपिक्स की भी बिडिंग की तैयारी चल रही है. 2036 का ओलंपिक्स हम लोग होस्ट करना चाहते हैं अहमदाबाद में. कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स भी हम अहमदाबाद में ही होस्ट कर रहे हैं. So yeah, that's what the article tells you. This article on the right hand side tells you AIDS and TB fight. Tamil Nadu shows the way again. Now, what is this in detail? Basically, talks about the background of the AIDS crisis. कि कैसे 80s में AIDS जो है बहुत ज़्यादा widespread था in the southern regions of the world, Eastern Africa, etc. इंडिया में बहुत सारे केसेस थे, बट प्रेवलेंस जो है काफ़ी ज़्यादा कम था. प्रेवलेंस से मतलब है कि हर 100 लोगों में कितने लोगों को एड्स है, उस तरीके से. एंड मेन जो ट्रांसमिशन होता है इसका, दैट इज थ्रू अनप्रोटेक्टेड हेटेरोसेक्सुअल सेक्सुअल कॉन्टैक्ट एंड शेयर्ड ड्रग नीडल्स. जब आप ड्रग नीडल्स ब्लड ट्रांसफ्यूजन के लिए यूज करते हो, इफ वन पर्सन हु हैज द डिजीज and that needle is used for other people, that's how the disease spreads. And 1980s में इसका कोई ट्रीटमेंट अवेलेबल नहीं था, तो केसेस और ज़्यादा बढ़ गए. बट अब जो है क्योरेबल तो अभी भी नहीं है, बट स्टिल यू कैन कंट्रोल इट टू अ ग्रेट एक्सटेंट. इंडिया ने नेशनल एड्स कंट्रोल प्रोजेक्ट चलाया 1992 में, विच वाज आल्सो फंडेड बाय द वर्ल्ड बैंक. एंड हर स्टेट में अपना एक एड्स सेल एस्टैब्लिश किया. इसमें तमिलनाडु ने काफ़ी ज़्यादा प्रोग्रेस करी. तमिलनाडु मॉडल इसको कहते हैं, TNSACS मॉडल. 1994 में तमिलनाडु ने अपने एड्स सेल को कन्वर्ट करके बना दिया तमिलनाडु स्टेट एड्स कंट्रोल सोसाइटी, which allowed for better funding for it, more autonomy, better implementation. एंड उन्होंने फिर लार्ज स्केल अवेयरनेस कैंपेन्स चलाए जिससे काफ़ी अच्छे रिजल्ट्स इनको मिले. फिर इस मॉडल को जो है नेशनली अडेप्ट किया गया इन द 2000s एंड हर स्टेट ने एड्स कंट्रोल सोसाइटीज बनाई. एंड एज अ रिजल्ट HIV का जो प्रेवलेंस है वो 0.54% जो था इन द ईयर 2000, उससे ड्रॉप होके हो गया 0.22% एज ऑफ टुडे. तो ये तो हो गई एड्स की बात. अब बात करें अगर टीबी की, विच इज ट्यूबरकुलोसिस, उसमें इंडिया हैज 25% ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स टीबी केसेस, विच इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली हाउ मच 9 मिलियन ग्लोबली. एंड इसमें MDR टीबी जो है, विच इज एक तरीके से अब नॉन रेजिस्टेंट, जो रेजिस्टेंट वाला टीबी का वेरिएंट है, उसमें भी इंडिया का 25% शेयर है. तो टीबी इज अ बिग प्रॉब्लम विच अफेक्ट्स इंडिया. पर उसके लिए भी गवर्नमेंट ने काफ़ी सारे एफर्ट्स किए. हमने टीबी एलिमिनेशन प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट किया जिसका टारगेट है टीबी को 2030 तक एलिमिनेट करना. ग्लोबल टारगेट 2030 है, इंडिया का टारगेट 2025 था, लेकिन हमने मीट नहीं किया इस साल. बट हमारा जो रेट ऑफ टीबी डिक्लाइन है वो फिर भी ग्लोबल एवरेज से बेटर चल रहा है. मतलब हम लोग काफ़ी तेज़ी से टीबी को कम कर पा रहे हैं. एक और स्कीम चलाई थी गवर्नमेंट ने, विच वॉज द PM टीबी मुक्त भारत अभियान फॉर ट्रीटमेंट, न्यूट्रिशन, कम्युनिटी इन्वॉल्वमेंट, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. टीबी के केसेस की बात करें तो मैक्सिमम केसेस आपको दिखते हैं यूपी में, महाराष्ट्र में, MP में, बिहार में, राजस्थान में, बेसिकली द अपर नॉर्थ हिंदी स्पीकिंग बेल्ट एंड महाराष्ट्र. Those are the states which are most affected, also the most polluted, also the most polluted कह रहा हूँ, most populated, and also the most affected by TB. तो वही कि तमिलनाडु का मॉडल इन स्टेट्स को भी अडॉप्ट करना चाहिए, ऐसा ही आर्टिकल हमें बताता है, ताकि हमें अच्छे रिजल्ट्स मिल सकें. ठीक है जी, आगे चलते हैं. India needs research pipelines. This we'll discuss on our PPT when we come back. Steady rise in electricity related fatality rates. Fatality मतलब लोगों की जान जाना बिजली के झटके से. Important नहीं है, skip कर सकते हैं. Pakistan's judiciary undermined. This is also not important. You can skip this. ये भी skip कर सकते हो. स्किप से मेरा मतलब है इट्स ऑप्शनल, आपके एग्जाम के लिए रेलिवेंट नहीं है, आप चाहो तो पढ़ सकते हो. हेड ऑन कोलिजन बिटवीन टू बसेस. ओके. कांग्रेस कॉल्स न्यू नेशनल हेराल्ड एफआईआर बोगस. नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट. सॉफ्टवेयर अपलोड ऑन अपग्रेड डन ऑन ऑल ऑपरेशनल A320. ठीक है. वीपीएन सर्विसेज बैंड फॉर 2 months इन 2 जम्मू डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. ऑलराइट, नथिंग इम्पॉर्टेंट हियर. This is again not important. New finds highlight Great Nicobar project sites biodiversity. This will do on the PPT. We'll see what this is about. Modi urges people to take part in Kashi Tamil Sangamam. Now, what exactly is this? He basically, asked people to participate in this festival, which is starting in Varanasi, which is also known as Kashi, which is called as the Kashi Tamil Sangamam. Theme of the event is Learn Tamil, Tamil Karkalam. And he said that basically praised the Tamil culture, Tamil language, saying that Tamil is the pride of India, and etc etc. यही सारी फिर उन्होंने तारीफ की बातें करी, फिर बताया इंडिया की प्रोग्रेस क्या क्या हो गई है डिफेंस में, टूरिज्म में, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं. और कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे पास न्यूज़पेपर में. मोटर इंश्योरेंस यू गाइस कैन स्किप. 334 dead, over 300 missing in Ditwa devastation in Sri Lanka. This is the cyclone which we were talking about. Pakistan rejects UN warning over its 27th constitutional amendment. All right. ठीक है, nothing significant here. India won the first ODI against South Africa. विराट कोहली ने सेंचुरी बना दी. All right. ठीक है. That's all about today's newspaper. Let's go back to our PPT and discuss the 3 articles which we had to discuss. Karthik is here asking me, how did your exam go? Exam went pretty well यार. इस देश को मैंने 5 काबिल एडवोकेट्स और दे दिए जिनको मैंने कुछ कुछ आंसर्स बता के पास करवा दिया. मेरा तो अच्छा गया एग्जाम. आई फिनिश्ड इट बिफोर टाइम. ठीक था, इजी था. सेंटर वाज नॉट दैट ग्रेट. सेंटर वाज प्रीटी बैड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाइज, बट या एग्जाम वाज फाइन. तो जस्ट अ फॉर्मेलिटी हो गया. बढ़िया था. थैंक यू फॉर आस्किंग एंड ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर योर एग्जाम एज वेल. बढ़िया से चल रहा है, होप रिवीजन वगैरह. चलो ठीक है, हम आ जाते हैं वापस पीपीटी पे. साइक्लोन टिटवा देखते हैं क्या है. So cyclone Ditwa began to weaken on Sunday even as it continued its slow northward movement over Bay of Bengal parallel to the coast of Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry. Torrential मतलब बहुत भारी रेन आप कह सकते हो, led to 3 deaths with 2 people killed by collapsing walls in Thanjavur and Thukudi districts. These are both in Kerala. 1 person electrocuted in Mailaduthurai. Over 2,300 people were in relief camps on Sunday morning. State Minister for Revenue and Disaster KKSSR Ramchandran said, adding that 230 huts have been damaged and 56,000 hectares of crops are underwater. The name Ditwa was contributed by Yemen. Contributed का मतलब क्या है? हर कंट्री जो है कुछ कुछ ना नाम कंट्रीब्यूट करती है कि अगला साइक्लोन आएगा तो उसका ये नाम रख लेना, ये हम अभी से कंट्रीब्यूशन कर रहे हैं. पहले से ही नाम ये दे दिए जाते हैं, लिस्ट बन जाती है एक. तो ये जो डिटवा नाम है ये येमेन ने कंट्रीब्यूट किया था. थोड़ा सा समझते हैं कैसे नाम रखा जाता है. इन द ईयर 2000 a group of nations called WMO or ESCAP, which is World Meteorological Organization, UN Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific, which comprised Bangladesh, India, Maldives, Myanmar, Oman, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Thailand, decided to start naming cyclones in that region. Which region? Indian Ocean region. After each country sent in suggestions, the WMO panel on tropical cyclones, which is PTC, finalized the list. The WMO expanded to include five more countries in 2018: Iran, Qatar, Saudi, UAE, and Yemen. The list of 169 cyclone names released by MD in April 2020 were provided by these countries, 13 suggestions from each of these 13 countries. While picking names for cyclone, countries need to follow some rules. The proposed name should be neutral to politics or political figures, religious beliefs, cultures, and gender. It should be chosen in a way that it does not hurt the sentiment of any group of population over the globe, should not be very rude and cruel in nature, should be short, easy to pronounce, should not be offensive to any member. Maximum length will be 8 letters, should be provided with its pronunciation and voiceover. Name of the tropical cyclone over North Indian Ocean will not be repeated. Once used, it will cease to be used again. So that is about the cyclone. Okay, next up we have Great Nicobar Project cites biodiversity. A new species of snake with only four records till date and a potentially new species of bird photographed only thrice in over a decade are among the latest finds from the site of Great Nicobar Island mega infrastructure project. Described in November, the two are among the nearly 40 new species reported here since 2021. These include two species of frogs, four crabs, two geckos. Geckos are a type of lizard, and a number of insects, including flies, moths, and beetles. Nearly half of these have been described in 2025 alone. Named Lycodon irvini after the renowned Australian zookeeper Steve Irwin. इनका शो भी आता था टीवी पे. इनकी डेथ हो गई. But yeah, the new wolf snake was described in the journal Evolutionary Systematics by a team of researchers that included these guys. ठीक है. Given the snake's rarity, its sharply restricted range, and potential threats, the researchers have recommended that it be classified as endangered under IUCN Red List. It is from the same east coast of Great Nicobar that borders Pia Sethi and Neetu Sethi from Delhi, and Vikram Sheel from Port Blair had recently published a paper on Great Nicobar Crake. Writing in the journal Indian Birds, authors note that very little is known of biology, distribution, and population status, and suggest this could be a new species to science given by a distinctive set of features, including several novel ones. Novel matlab new ones. Great Nicobar is reported to have 650 species of plants and 1800 species of fauna. Fauna matlab wildlife कह सकते हो. Region also boasts of remarkable genetic biodiversity, exhibiting about 24% endemism among some faunal groups. Endemism मतलब है उनका नंबर ड्रॉप हो रहा है. They are declining on population. The regular discovery of new species, including the latest find, highlight the island's rich biodiversity. I'm delighted to hear of the new snake and new species that has been tentatively described from Great Nicobar, said Asad Rahmani, prominent ornithologist and former director of Bombay Natural History Society. Ornithologists are people who study birds. Great Nicobar has perhaps the finest tropical rainforest left in India, and this calls for total protection. All right, last article is regarding India needs research pipelines. India will not meet its growth and ambition on public grants alone. The countries that turned science into industry did one thing well. They matched firm outlays to campus strengths and kept that link steady for years. Policy question is clear. How do we move private research outlays from episodic CSR to a predictable pipeline that buys lab time, funds doctoral cohorts, and works pilot lines? Leading tech firms run innovation budgets at industrial scale. In 2024, Meta key research reached about $44 billion, near a third of revenue. Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, IBM, Microsoft also reported multi-billion dollar research programs. In the US, enterprises booked roughly $692 billion of domestic research against about 14 trillion in net sales, a ratio of almost 5%. China's Huawei reported a research and development expenditure at 179.7 billion yuan, equal to 20.8% of revenue. More than half of Huawei's workforce is in R&D roles. Build Your Dreams, which is a Chinese EV company, invested 54.2 billion yuan on R&D against 777 billion of revenue, which is 7% of its revenue. Which show one trait: corporate research works with campuses through joint ventures, shared lines, Log Horizon Consortia, and open talent pipelines. India should scale this on Indian terms. Goal is self-reliance with open doors to global science while anchoring discovery to India's needs. Private research outlays need size, predictability, and structured linkages with higher education institutions. India's GERD sits at 0.565%, with enterprises funding about two-fifths. Advanced economies show a higher firm share, yet India has bright spots. Tata Motor reported a revenue of 4.38 lakh crore with a research outlay of 29,398, which is 6.7%. Sun Pharma had 6.7%. Dr. Reddy had 8.2%. Bharat Electronics had 6.24%. And Reliance had 4,100 crores in research and development. India has the labs, talent, and markets. The task is clear: set transparent targets, match grants that buy real lab time, and collaborate better, ताकि इंडिया की research better हो सके. And that's about the newspaper. Let's look at the three new vocabulary words. The first word is castigated. Castigated मतलब होता है बहुत जोर से डांट लगाना, reprimand someone severely. The sentence is she castigated him for having no intellectual interest. Synonyms are reprimand, rebuke, admonition. सबका मतलब भी डांटना ही होता है. Approved, endorsed, praised. These are antonyms or opposites. The next word is exasperates. Exasperate का मतलब होता है परेशान कर देना किसी को. Irritate and frustrate someone intensely. Infuriate, irritate, anger, appease, conciliate, mollify are antonyms. Small children can exasperate their parents with endless questions about why this or that is so. लास्ट वर्ड इज वेनरेशन. वेनरेशन मतलब होता है किसी की बहुत ज्यादा रिस्पेक्ट करना, एडमिरेशन करना, डिवोशन करना. रेवरेंस, रिस्पेक्ट, वर्शिप आर सिनोनिम्स. कंडेमेशन, disapproval, disdain are antonyms. Holy relics are often objects of veneration. All right, veneration is respect, exasperate is frustrate, and castigate is reprimand or scold someone. And that brings us to the end of today's discussion. Hi Kushagra, how are you? कैसी चल रही तैयारी? I hope everything is going good. Chalo, that brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you so much for participating, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow in another session. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Good night. Signing off.